vision, dreams, and passions. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I'm Dave Guerra. It is Let's Have a Chat for Friday, March 13th, 2020. Friday the 13th, everyone. Friday 13th. What's the deal with these Friday 13th? We had one in December. Now we've got one again. We did not have one last month because it just didn't work out that way. So, again, good evening. Welcome. It's Friday. And here we are. Whoa, that was weird. A little stutter there. Good evening. Hope you had a great work week. It's not over. Stressful week, I guarantee you. Everybody, you're kind of on edge. Can you stock up on your toilet paper? If you got all the toilet paper you're ever going to need, seriously. I'll do a video on that later. That's separate. So we're here tonight. It is Friday, and you know what we talk about? That's right. It's Forbes Friday. But what else do we talk about here? It's Let's Have a Chat about leadership, and this is the show where I remind you everyone is a leader or a future leader. So don't forget that. Everyone's a leader or a future leader. It's Friday, and it's Forbes Friday. It means we rip something out of the Forbes headlines, something out of the website. In this case, it is straight out of the daily cover. And Eric Yuan's Zoom. And of course, we talk about my Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is Index. And we talk about that. Pretty interesting. It's where I track. I've talked about it. And it's your money. It's what I talk about. And I've tracked 12 stocks. And we're seeing how they're doing, especially now during these volatile times. I'm using those words that they show on those shows. These are volatile times, to bring you in, to, ensnare you, to hook you, to get you to watch. So in these volatile times, your money does matter. Excuse me. So it being your money, that's what we talk about today. So first off, on the Forbes website, really cool story. And it's basically a sign of the times. It's titled, Exclusive, Zoom's CEO, Eric Yuan, is giving K-12 schools, his video conferencing tools for free. Folks, I use the Zoom tools on a consistent basis. I am not an investor of Zoom. I should be, but I do use the Zoom tools on a consistent basis. And let me tell you, folks, this is the real deal. This is the real deal. And I like it. I like it a little bit better than Skype. Skype served its purpose. Skype has a place in the landscape, the telecommuting landscape, but I truly believe Zoom is where it's at. And why? Because it's kind of multi-platform, multi-use, where in the Skype, you can only be guaranteed it will work with other Microsoft products. See where I'm going with that? So you've got to be careful. But Zoom, I like it, and this article caught my eye because, again, it's a sign of the times. On Thursday, on the heels of Zoom's biggest day ever for downloads, the day before, CEO Eric Yuan was taking the time to remotely sign up schools to free accounts of his video conferencing software. First was a prestigious school in Silicon Valley. Then 2 schools in the Austin, Texas area. Quote, "They told me they'd connect with my team, and I said, no, I'll do that for you." Yuan reached by Zoom in its San Jose, California area home. This is now his office for the foreseeable future. I did it manually myself, end quote. So this is straight out of the Forbes.com. I will link this article to the show notes. I will link it also in the post. So if you're watching on Facebook, I will link it after the show. As the COVID-19 virus sweeps across the planet, leading to quarantine cities and shut down schools. Zoom has emerged as one of the leading tools that help keep businesses up and running and students learning. On Wednesday, the most recent day for which data is available, 343,000 people globally downloaded the Zoom app, 60,000 in the US alone, according to the mobile intelligence firm Apptopia, compared to 90,000 people worldwide and 27,000 in the US just 2 months ago. Zoom, quote, in parentheses, Zoom doesn't share such numbers and won't comment on a third-party report. And overnight, having already removed the time limit from video chats using Zoom's free service for affected regions in China and elsewhere, Yuan took another measure to help mitigate the impact of the coronavirus. He decided to remove the limit for any K-12 schools affected in Japan, Italy, and the United States. Students or teachers who fill out an online form using their school email address and are then verified by Zoom will have any accounts associated with that school's domain also will then be verified. Okay, also gain unlimited temporary meeting minutes according to the site set up for the process overnight. The free basic accounts are also available by request in Austria, Denmark, France, Ireland, Poland, Romania, South Korea, and a Zoom spokesperson said, given that many K-12 schools are starting to close, we've decided to offer Zoom access to all K-12 schools in the country starting tomorrow. Yuan wrote in an email overnight. So kudos to him. Kudos to him. Let me wrap this up real quick. Such generosity is nothing new on Yuan, who is known to hook up nonprofits and other institutions in need with prized free access to Zoom's online video communication since he co-founded the business in 2011. But now his leadership is taking on a global importance as Zoom has become one of the most in-demand software tools for the work from home economy, folks. I've used it. I use it at home. I use it at work. I use it. It's an awesome tool. It's a fantastic tool. And here's somebody who's actually stepped up. And again, and I talk about this, and I ad nauseum, I talk about this. Head on a swivel. Get your head on a swivel and see what's out there. See what needs to be taken care of. See what needs to be addressed. And boom, there it goes. Now, in this case, they did. Now, it says Zoom is far from the only tool standing to benefit from this trend. Analysts point to others like the file sharing service Dropbox, e-signature business like DocuSign, and emergency communication business Everbridge as obvious fellow cloud companies that will likely see a boost in usage as the internet moves more towards online, or as the world moves more towards online. But few are as richly valued as Zoom, whose shares are up 77% since it went public in April of 2019, less than a year ago, making Yuan a billionaire already. Last Wednesday, the company reported an earnings beat and year-to-date revenue of 78%. Wow. That is awesome. That is awesome. Now we got some GAAP and non-GAAP margins, operating margins of 5.6, and non-GAAP earnings per share nearly doubled analysts' consensus, and still saw shares dip when they remained up 24% for the past month. As of Thursday, markets closed versus a 27% drop for the Standard & Poor's. So even then, they still beat the Standard & Poor's. Even though it dropped, it still beat. So pretty cool. So here's the deal. The tools are there, folks. The tools are there. They're not there to separate us. They're not there to create this divide. No. Visionaries, people ready to act, people ready to work, people ready to do what they need to do. Guess what? They're going to step in and do it. And that's a big plus. That's what you need in a leader, especially in these trying, volatile times. That's what you need, is individuals that are ready to stand ready and say, you know what? We're going to gain more on the back end than we will right now. So yeah, there's going to be people that are going to like, well, now's the time to charge. Now's the time to, impose that fee. I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're going to get more, it's like they say, you're going to catch more flies with, or you can catch more flies with honey than you are with vinegar. Same thing. In the long run, they're going to start creating this connection. They're going to start creating this familiarization. They're going to start creating a connection, solid connection between the users of Zoom and the Zoom company, where anybody else that steps in and says, oh, we have this brand new product and you can use it. Well, guess what? No, thank you. We've got it here already. Thank you very much. Have a good day. And that's that. So again, we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, kudos to Zoom. Kudos to Eric Yuan. Good job. Keep it up. And I know this is going to be a long way before we're done with this, but it's nice to know that we can still get stuff done. So if we're self-imposed, what's that called? The self-imposed isolation, or what's that? The fortress of solitude, if that's where you revert back to, or if you're told, you know what, it's time to quarantine in place, you're covered. You're covered. So long as that internet connection stays up, and I guarantee you, folks, it'll stay up. Things might get a little slow here and there, but you'll see. Things will be fine. In the meantime, quit hoarding toilet paper. Geez, that's enough of that nonsense. I hope also where you're getting that toilet paper, you're also getting a cold and flu medicine, decongestant, aspirin, Tylenol, Motrin, whatever works for you. And if you're not, well, guess what? You're going to get caught short, especially if you catch it, because it's supposed to mimic those cold and flu symptoms. So anything can help. Listen, be good, stay safe, and let's move on to the next thing. What you're really here for, what everybody's really here for, that's right. It's my Dave's Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is Index. That's right, these stocks. And the value, this week's value right now, where again, I just bought one share of each. Okay. Well, no, I didn't actually buy. I hold no positions in any of these stocks. What I do have is just the list. It's purely for entertainment purposes, just so you can see that, hey, maybe I do know what I'm talking about. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen with you. Here's this week's chart. Let me get rid of that. There we go. All right. So Dave, Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is Index. Here it is. We got Sprint, AT&T, T-Mobile, Cisco, Oracle, Skechers, Nike, Under Armour, Class A, Yamana Gold, Eli Lilly, Regeneron, Merck. This week's value, one share of each, $1,000, $1,011.34. And a difference from 2 weeks ago, because I didn't have the last week's information. From 2 weeks ago, I'm only down 35 cents. Not too shabby, only down 35 cents. So what have we got? The other columns, the 52-week high, and the next column, the one with all the shading, that's the close from the high. Right now, Sprint is $1.45. And again, this is February 13th. March 13th. March 13th, Friday the 13th. It is $1.45 from the 52-week high. Everybody else, you kind of see that they're all below. They're all kind of $5, $15, $20 from the 52-week high. What else have we got? Okay, that. Now the fourth column actually is the 52-week low. There it is. So for Sprint, it's $4.26. Again, because it's closer to the high, the CFTL, that's the close from the low, it's a $4.45 difference. Now you're going to see a couple down there that's Skechers, Under Armour, and Yamana Gold. That's closed from the low, and they are under $1.50 from the low. Skechers is $1.43 from the low. Under Armour is $1.22. Yamana Gold 93 cents from the 52-week low. So what does that all say? It says when it's time to buy and when it's time to back up a little bit. When you got that number a little too close to the high, let's back it up a little bit. Let's not get too crazy. Because if we're going to buy, we want to buy low and sell high. Let's not ride the wave. The wave, luckily, right now is in our favor. I was talking to somebody today. They called it's a black swan. I do agree. It is a black swan. It is that perfect time that now you want in. It's the time to get in. Could stand to make some money. Why not? But again, keep an eye on what's going on. I'm kind of worried as to why Skechers and Skechers, Under Armour, and Skechers and Under Armour are down that low. Could it just be that they're bottoming out and getting ready to bounce back up? Then this might be the time to go ahead and jump in. So there you go. That's this week's Dave's Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is Index. Again, this week's value of one share each of all of those is $1,011.34, a difference from 2 weeks ago of 35 cents. So not too shabby. Alrighty, we're back. Okay, well, listen, that about wraps it up. I want you to have a great weekend. Spend time with your family. If you go out, keep that social distancing, and you know how you do that. Double arm width apart. Okay, so you're near somebody, put up your arms, and then they have to extend their arms, double extended. So there you go. That's as close as you need to get to anybody. Any closer, well, you're on your own. But seriously, you'll be fine. Just take care of yourselves. Be good. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you on Monday. Sports and leadership. I do appreciate you. Don't forget to follow me down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. I appreciate everything you do. I appreciate when you like. I love it when you subscribe. And have a great weekend. I'll talk to you on the other side.